Hey guys, welcome to my vlog. I'm Sayyidah Sumin Sara doing Bachelor's in Psychology from University of Bolton. Psychology is a fascinating area of study. It helps understand human behavior and mental processes and allow to better understand how a person thinks, act, and feel and see things from a variety of perspectives. Today, I will share with you my reflective learning experiences from my CPT activities and placement in relation to my future career goal, that is to be a clinical psychologist or a psychological content creator. Being a clinical psychologist is my passion. Writing is my hobby. Our research shows that individuals prefer writing tasks than social interactions, the individuals who are introverts. For my placement, I worked at Emometrics as a psychological content creator and for their clinical psychology website and designed various presentations for their workshops. The organization seems to follow a hierarchical structure starting with the CEO, followed by the management team, which contains 50 plus workforce, then the interns who work there. Emometrics is the world's first largest psychological consulting organization. Their vision is to bring change by the power of psychology, and their mission is to inspire creativity and innovation in the field of psychology, emotion, and human behavior. This is one of the reasons the interns work there without the pay. Emometric established as a psychological consulting firm with the value proposition of utilizing psychological approaches in many aspects of life. It is associated with partners and members from world-class organizations such as Project Management Institute, National Skill Development Corporation, many cooperative companies, International Association of Applied Psychology, National Career Services, UNICEF, American Psychological Association, 33 plus international and national colleges and universities. According to my personal experience, along with the vision and mission, another reason that motivates interns to work at Emometrics is their implied positive behavior towards them. This could better be understood through organization citizenship behavior model. Organization citizenship behavior model is used to describe all the positive and constructive implies actions and behavior that aren't part of the formal job description. It's anything that implies to out of their own free will that supports their colleagues and interns, which benefits the organization as a whole. The organization citizenship behavior was first defined by Dennis Organ in 1988. The 5 themes that describes the organization citizenship behavior are altruism, courtesy, sportsmanship, conscientiousness, and civic virtues. The benefits that are being by the organization's citizenship behavior are that it boosts intern morale, increase the level of work fulfillment, good performance and productivity, reduces stress, better communication interaction between the employees. This could also be proven by a research that organization citizenship behavior shows positive performance. Since my career goal is to be a clinical psychologist, that is someone who is a mental health professional with specialized training in the diagnosis and psychological treatment of mental behavior and emotional illness. The skills that need to be present are good communication, teamwork, and the in-depth knowledge about intervention and therapies. And for psychological content creator who creates various type of psychological content such as the blog, vlog, FAQs, conduct researches, article, essays for providing information across various platforms and channels, they need to have in-depth knowledge about the certain topic, critical thinking skills, and the writing skills. Therefore, my objective for this placement are to gain knowledge and practical application of different therapies, intervention, and the counseling practice, to enhance my critical thinking skills and the ability to deal with challenging and emotionally exhausting situations while focusing on oneself. Self-care is also mentioned in APA Ethical Code of Conduct, which is required for every psychologist to carry out to have a fulfillment while working. I have chosen two of my interests goal from the same field to keep open my options in the future. Now that I am about to complete my bachelor's degree in psychology, I have learned several theories and therapies, but I haven't understood them in depth, knowing their therapeutic style and application, nor I have observed them in the particular practical application. Talking about my first goal, I did not limit myself to the knowledge I gained from my course about therapies, but I also started learning digitally, which helped me in my internship also. As I could remember, once in my internship, I was given the task of writing the vlog. I had hard time thinking what topics do I need to choose. But going back to my CPT activities and looking at them, I came across my two of the CPT activities. There was a depression and CBT online short course and learning RBT training program. From these CPTs, I came across the topics CBT formulation, a power tool for your happiness, REBT. I wrote blog on these two of the topics also with the help of my CPT activities, that was essay and report writing skills. Once I submitted my vlog, my supervisor was very happy and gave a happy face. This could be better understood by the connectivism learning theory. Connectivism is a relatively new learning theory that suggests students should combine thoughts, theories, and general information in a useful manner. It accepts that technology is a major part of the learning process and that our constant connectedness gives us opportunity to make choice about our learning. It develops our critical and in-depth examination. Now that I have understood this, in the coming future, I have also planned to start attending online courses and webinars to keep gaining knowledge about practical applications of different theories, intervention, counseling processes. From the first goal to understand the counseling process better, let's have a look at the counseling model. This model is by Carmen and Hackney 2005. According to this model, the first step is to build the therapeutic alliance or a good relationship with the client as they can trust and open up to the therapist. This is mainly done through good understanding of therapeutic techniques. Using the dorsal model of what, so what, now what, I can say that this was a place I need to work on as I didn't have much experience about therapies, interventions, and how to conduct counseling practice. To develop these skills, I used my CBT activity, Basic Counseling Skills, a short online course that helped me to understand the counseling practice and their skills. Once therapeutic alliance is built, it's now time to assess the client. This leads us to set the goals, which we could see according to the Zuckerberg transition theory. It suggests that a person has to build four of the S: situation, self, support, strategies. The first is to break the negative thought of a person about themselves. Second is to increase the social support network, as is a very important factor in coping mechanism. This could be the strategy a counselor could provide the client. The next step is to carry out the intervention. To understand this, I used my CPT activities, clinical psychology workshop, depression, and CBT. To learn about various interventions, for example, to join social support group. According to a research, increasing social support increases the resilience, which can be the factor in using unhealthy coping mechanism. Next, coping mechanism, exercise, and self-positive talks. This leads us to the last step, which is the follow-up. The follow-up step means reviewing the progress and planning for future possible needs. For my placement, I have used this model, the counseling model, when I had to write an article on the qualities you need to look for in a therapist. The CBT activity of basic counseling skills helped me a lot in it. Coming to the end of my first objective, I could say this objective was partially completed as I gained in-depth knowledge about therapies and intervention with the help of my CBT activities, which I incorporate in my placement task. However, as this internship was of a content creation and online, therefore I was not able to experience the practical application of the theories. My next objective is to enhance my critical thinking skills with the aim of being a future psychological content creator or a clinical psychologist. Being a critical thinker is a must. Critical thinking is the analysis of available facts, evidence, observations, and arguments to form an in-depth judgment and writing. Critical thinking, according to the Clark 2019, says a person is self-directed, self-disciplined, self-monitored, and self-corrective thinker. What needs to be done is to bring out these when a person is having a critical thinking discussion or a writing task. It presupposes assent to rigorous standard of excellence and mindful command to their use. It entails effective problem-solving abilities. According to the Bloom taxonomy model, it suggests that a cross-disciplinary model for developing higher-order thinking in students. Learning how to think critically involves the mastery of 6 increasingly complex cognitive skills, such as knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. Knowledge, the remembering or recalling of appropriate previously learning terminologies, specific facts, ways, and meaning of dealing. comprehension, grasping, understanding the meaning of informational material, application, the use of previously learned information in new and concrete situation to solve problem, analysis to break down the informational material into their component part, examining, synthesis, creatively and directly applying prior knowledge and skills to produce a new or original whole. Lastly, the evaluation, judging the value of material based on personal values, opinions, resulting in end product. This model could fit perfectly for understanding the incident happened at my workplace. Once, when I was given the task of creating a research poster on the topic neuroscience and mythbusters, about clinical psychology, firstly, I was very stressed as I had no idea how to do it. But with the help of this model and these steps, I could actually figure out how I have to go. The steps, which are knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. As well as this model, I could say that my CPT activity, which was learning, thinking, and doing, also helped me in completing my task on time. When I successfully completed my task and sent it to my supervisor, the research poster and the mythbusters, my supervisor was very happy with my progress and my work, and like that I can say that I have achieved my second objective also, which was critical thinking skills. The third and the last objective was to deal with challenging and emotionally exhausting situations while focusing on oneself. While as I carried out on my internship, there were incidents where I had challenging and exhausting situations, which I could not handle. For this objective, I will be referring to Gibbs' reflective cycle, which took place while inquiring this objective. For the start of my internship, I was asked to work with the clinical psychology website team immediately. This immediate exposure to the workload made me feel a bit stressed. With having negative emotions while working, it reminded me of the emotional well-being. I could feel my well-being was at stake as I was getting hard to handle the things. However, my supervisor helped me in this case and made me feel good while decreasing the burden and realizing the importance. At that time, I realized the importance of a good mentor. The research by Dorman and Zev focused that in service workers, the implied aggression is positively correlated with burnout and emotional dissonance. However, this was not in my case, as my supervisor was nice enough to deal with me nicely and with no aggression. Upon analyzing the whole situation, I came to the conclusion that my emotional well-being and the challenging situations was getting hard on me as I was unable to cope with it. That was the conclusion. However, the action plan I am planning to take is to work on my coping mechanism and coming out with a better understanding of how to deal with oneself while working hard, as in the future I have to work hard. The challenging and emotionally exhausting situations while focusing on oneself, I could say that I have not achieved this objective. as we could see from an example that happened at my workplace. Once I was given the task of designing the presentation on the topic neuroscience. The topic itself was a difficult one and it was time consuming. Therefore, I was not able to submit the task on time and I got delayed. This made my supervisor bit sad, but however, she understood. Therefore, my future goal is to work on my coping mechanism. In conclusion, I could say that out of 3 objectives, I was successfully able to achieve 2 of the objectives, which was to gain knowledge and practical application and the critical thinking skills. However, I was unable to achieve to deal with the challenging and emotionally exhausting situation. For the first one, where I had no practical application and I partially achieved this, I started working on it. As I started my internship at Manzil Center for People with Disability, I have been fortunate enough to observe the occupational and vocational therapy of the children. There was an advantage of starting my internship at Manzil Center for People with Disabilities. With that said, this was the end of my internship, where I have objectives which I set for myself and I had CBT activities and work placements to fulfill those. However, I did fulfill 2 of the objectives out of 3. Quite an achievement. With that, I was also able to achieve problem solving, communication, and patience. These skills have also improved while working at the EMO Matrix. I hope you had a good time with me as much as I had a good time with this internship. In the end, thank you for watching my vlog. See you next time.